Guys, I gotta pull the rope-a-dope on you today. It's been a long time since I've done it, but that's where we are with this one. Stanza 5, verse 5 from Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. This is a video which will appear in 3 separate playlists here on the channel. Number 1 being the poetry discussion playlist, number 2 being the Walt Whitman playlist, but number 3, a verse by verse read along for Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. This is verse 5, the 5th video in that series. As far as the poetry discussion videos go, we're nearing 500, so that is what it is. But here we are with verse 5, and there are some things going on in this verse that could build your reading of the first 4 verses or completely undercut it. So today we're going to go with the undercutting theory. The verse 5 reads as such: I believe you in my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. Loaf with me on the grass. Loose the stop from your throat. No words, not music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your velvet voice. I mind how once we lay such a transparent summer morning, how you settled your head athwart my hips and gently turned over upon me, and parted the shirt from my bosom bone and plunged your tongue to my bare, stripped heart, and reached till you felt my beard, and reached till you held my feet. Swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and knowledge that pass all the argument of the earth, and I know that the hand of God is the promise of my own, and I know that the Spirit of God is the brother of my own, and that all the men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and that a kelson of the creation is love, and limitless are leaves stiff or drooping in the fields, and brown ants in the little wells beneath them, and mossy scabs and the worm fence, heaped stones, elder, mullein, and pokeweed. Now, in this verse, we have intimacy, we have connection, we have the forsaking of the world of triviality and the acceptance of the lover, the acceptance of the other, the acceptance, really, when you get back to the beginning of this poem, of a third, which, if we're going to go on religious terms, I, the other I, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I, me, myself, and Irene there in the middle. So we could go down this route like we have sort of with the other 4 stanzas, like we will again in this journey through Song of Myself. But for fear of coming across as arrogant or condescending, heaven forbid, I'd like to take this discussion in a different route altogether. This part of the poem here, loaf with me on the grass, loose the stop from your throat, not words nor music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your velvet voice. This part right here. What is the feeling there? What are we to get from that? Loaf with me on the grass. Just exist with me here on the grass. There's no business in the grass. Loaf with me there. Loose the stop from your throat. Don't think the stop from your throat, on top of your throat, your head on top of your throat. Do not sit here and think about the things that you're going to say to me. Remove the stop and just talk. Not words, not music or rhyme I want. Just talk. I don't necessarily, don't give me vocab. Don't give me the dolled up language of music and rhyme, not custom or lecture. Don't teach me anything. I don't want a lesson, not even the best. Only the lull I like. Now that seems contradictory there. Loose the stop from your throat. Only the lull I like. The hum of your velvet voice. But this is not to suggest silence, is what our speaker is requesting. It's a little bit of peace of mind. Now, I have, since the day I was born, been something of a Billy Joel fan, and there is a great Billy Joel song known as Just the Way You Are, where he's begging and pleading with his lover. You don't have to dye your hair. You don't have to learn new things. You don't have to go out of your way and to impress. You're my lady. It's you and me, baby. Regardless of whether you learn French or not, regardless of whether or not the color of your hair comes out of a box, I don't care. That makes no difference to me. But there's a part in the song that has always troubled me. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. Now, when I was a younger man, this struck me as, well, sort of insulting, right? Look, babe, I don't need you to be smart. I just want you to be here. It also struck me as, in addition to condescending, it struck me as a sort of embargo on worthwhile conversation, right? It seems intelligent conversation is the only conversation really worth having. One of my heroes, a man by the name of Christopher Hitchens, really, really agreed with the idea that intelligent conversation is the only conversation worth having. Now, what constitutes intelligent conversation, yada, 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 he would have, in my opinion, erred toward the folly, perhaps, of irony. He has a great quote when stopped on the street and asked about the meaning of life. He said something to the effect of, "We are expelled from our mother's uterus as if shot by a cannon towards a barn door filled with nail files and rusty hooks. No one gets out of life alive. The only real test," or something like that, "is how we use up the intervening time in an interesting and ironic way." Which, I mean, is just stopped on the street to give that answer, But this whole idea of, listen, I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard, always sort of struck me as odd, off-putting, condescending, insulting, all of these things. But guys, as I've gotten older, I think I kind of understand it. And I think That is sort of the place where we are coming from in this verse from Song of Myself. What we have is Walt Whitman saying, look, loaf with me here. Just be with me. Here's the rope-a-dope element to this. This all seems very smooth. Just loaf with me. Just be with me. That feels like a yielding and accepting voice, right? Very yielding, very soft, very accepting. Be with me here just the way you are. Feels very yielding is the best way I can put it. But do you think one would have to make these claims if that were genuinely the mindset of the speaker? I dare say not. I think this is being spoken by our speaker because there is maybe I don't think this. Maybe I just believe there is an interpretation to be had here that is interesting and ironic and worth delving into, because we can always accept something at face value. We can always accept poetry at face value. We can always accept the speaker in a novel at face value, whether that is third person omniscient or first person untrustworthy. But in order to get more interesting readings out of things, oftentimes it is necessary to question the viability of our speaker. What if our speaker here is not attempting to coerce you, the lover, into this sense of abandonment, into this sense abandonment of care? Maybe that is not the target of this speech. What if it is our speaker? What if our speaker is the particularly anxious or preoccupied type? What if our speaker is the type that is not the type to loaf on the grass? What if our speaker is constantly beset with worry and doubt? Then these lines in this poem, loaf with me on the grass, loose the stop from your throat. Not words, not music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your velvet voice. This becomes, instead of an invitation, a plea. Please loaf with me on the grass. I need this. What if that is the place from which our speaker is coming? Pleading to the audience, pleading to the lover, pleading to the other, the you here in this poem. Please. Not because I am so great and magnificent and I am the great loafer in the grass. Not because I am the type who does not need words or music or rhyme. Not because I am the type who is unimpressed by lecture, but because I am the type that is impressed by lecture. I do need the words, the music, and the rhyme. It is difficult for me to loose the stop from my own throat. And because of this, I need you here now to do this thing with me. I need you here now to loaf in the grass with me. Maybe they are my words, but your actions. Maybe I am not saying loaf with me in the grass. I am saying show me how to loaf in the grass. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. This is a video which will be in 3 separate playlists on the channel: the Walt Whitman playlist, the Song of Myself read-along playlist, and the poetry discussion playlist. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, consider hitting the subscribe button in order to stick around for more in the future. There's poetry every Monday, and I'm currently going through Ernest Hemingway short stories, Carrie by Stephen King, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, as well as having just wrapped up Dubliners by James Joyce. And hey, as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.